Level 989.
Welcome to a 989 on Health Extra. These quick supplements should help ease any withdrawal symptoms you may experience while waiting for our next full episode. So, Mike, what's on today's agenda?
This week's question is, why does coffee make you poop? If you're the squeamish sort of listener, this episode might not be for you. As a person who drinks a lot of coffee, I've definitely experienced this phenomenon. But I have to admit, I've never taken the time to research it before today. Okay, there are a bunch of smaller details we need to get straight before the answer is going to make any sense. First of all, let's look at coffee. Well, it might actually be better to rephrase the question asking, why does caffeine have this effect, rather than specifically coffee? You can ingest caffeine from a variety of sources. Coffee, tea, chocolate, weight loss pills like Xantrex, pain relievers such as Excedrin, fortified water like Propel, energy drinks, some mints and gum, and more. Basically, what is caffeine? Well, it's a stimulant. In the 60 or so plants that produce caffeine, it acts as a natural pesticide. It can paralyze and kill insects that feed on the plant. One interesting tidbit on this, some bees actually benefit from a dose of caffeinated nectar, and happier bees make for happier plants, right? Okay, what does the stimulant do to the body? Well, it's right there in the name. It stimulates it. And many systems in the body are impacted by this stimulation. Your pupils dilate, your heart rate increases, your blood pressure goes up, your breathing rate increases, and your body temperature goes up. Next, let's look at the digestive system. While it might seem that the process of moving food from your mouth to your anus is largely a gravity-fed process, there's actually a special type of muscle. It's called involuntary non-striated muscle, or smooth muscle for short. A quick and nerdy aside here. Speaking of thinking that digestion might be gravity-fed, during the early space program, one of the scientific experiments that NASA ran was to make sure a human could eat and swallow in space. It was hard to say, without direct evidence, how much of the process was helped along by gravity. Turns out we can eat without gravity just fine. Okay, where were we? Smooth muscle, right. Smooth muscle lines much of your digestive system, and it makes use of a really cool type of muscle contraction called peristalsis. It's a radially symmetrical contraction and relaxation that creates a propagating wave in the tube of muscle. That's a bit technical, but imagine a tennis ball and a dryer hose. If you create a wave by giving the hose a shake, the ball will be carried along by the force of that wave. Now, don't get the wrong idea. Your intestines aren't jumping around inside you creating big waves. Instead, they contract and release thousands of tiny rings of muscle, which propels your food through the digestive tract bit by tiny bit. So I'm sure you can see where this is going. If the stimulant has increased the speed of your heart, your lungs, it has therefore increased the activity of other muscles as well, including the smooth muscles of your digestive system. This gotta poop effect might be made worse if you have even a minor intolerance to dairy. The milk you put in your coffee can add its own pressure to the problem. One of the most important things your large intestine does is remove water from your poop. And if a stimulant has sped up the process of the food through your system, not only are you going to absorb fewer nutrients from that food, but you're also going to absorb less water, leading to what some might call soft serve, or worse, diarrhea. This is not something you want to happen in the middle of your commute, while you sit in gridlocked traffic. While it's tempting to drink a cup of coffee on the way to work, if you have a long commute, you know coffee impacts you in this way, maybe wait until you reach the office to have your first cup. Thanks again to our great listeners for sending in suggestions. If you'd like to send in your own topic for consideration, head on over to level989.com/contact and make it so.
That's all for now. You can find links to read more about today's topics at level989.com. Why not take a moment to rate or review us in iTunes, or give us a mention on social media? We can't help everyone if they don't know we exist. Don't rely on us as an alternative to medical advice from a professional healthcare provider. For the full disclaimer, please see our website. Thanks for listening, and now, go health yourself.